Hello, church. It's Pastor Steve here with our Monday Minute for February the 15th of 2021. I hope everybody had a happy Valentine's Day yesterday and had a great time to go out and celebrate however it is that you did, and hopefully in a safe manner if you for whatever loved ones that you have. As Reverend Gasway said yesterday, either as a couple or individually, that we all experience God's love. This month, we're beginning the season of Lent, and we begin this week with Ash Wednesday here on February the 17th. We are planning to have our outdoor Ash Wednesday service in the Memorial Garden. That will begin at 7 p.m. We do need you to pre-register for that, so we know that you will be in attendance. We are also watching the weather, so if it's going to be inclement weather, we will make adjustments for that, but we need you to be watching your social media and checking your email for updates on that, as we'll be making that call as the weather dictates. If we do have to change, we will be switching to drive-through Ashes and Communion. It will be a little bit of a different experience, but still a way to offer you an Ash Wednesday experience. So please do watch for those details tomorrow and early Wednesday, depending on when we make that call. And we'll provide for you any updated information that we have. This week is also our first Sunday of Lent as we begin that season, and we'll be having our service of Baptismal Renewal. So I invite you, as you prepare to worship on Sunday, to have a vessel full of water ready to go, and that will help you to be able to participate in that service of renewal. It's a tradition that we have been doing now for a few years as we renew our baptismal vows on that first Sunday of Lent. It's a very meaningful experience, and we hope that you'll be able to join us as a part of that and to celebrate what it means to be in the season of Lent and the renewal that Jesus calls us to. We also have our new studies that are beginning on February the 24th with Reverend Gasway and myself. That'll be on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. for our new Lenten series, Don't Give Up. That will correspond with the sermon series that you're hearing on Sunday morning. Also, our Women Connecting Through Christ will be starting their new book on that Thursday all at 6:30. And don't forget about our children's Lenten bags, which are available for pickup. And also don't miss our online youth group opportunities that are meeting on Sunday nights at 6:30, as well as watching for our Saturdays with Mrs. Karen for our children's ministries at debut every Saturday morning as well. Today, as we begin a new week and we're about to begin the season of Lent, I was reminded of what happened yesterday during our worship service that, did not go according to plan. And because they didn't go according to plan, things just get off. We had technical difficulties, and that throws us off. It throws our timing off. It throws us off just a little bit in terms of what we're doing in order to bring that service to you. Now, this can happen whether we're doing online worship, and it has also happened in regular in-person worship as well. Point is, things don't always go according to plan. Hopefully, however, the message still comes through. But even in our best efforts, things can go wrong, and they don't go necessarily according to plan. And that's truly the case even when we read all of the stories that we encounter throughout the Bible. It's full of things that are not going according to the original plan. Yet, by God's grace, the things that happen still, for the most part, tend to work out. Or at the very least, God can render something good from a bad situation. One of our readings this week is from Paul's first letter to Timothy. Now, Timothy is a young man who has been called to be a leader of the church and is even thought of as a possible successor to Paul and his ministry when he is no longer able to do it. And so we see in these letters to Timothy about how Paul is carefully instructing him how to conduct himself and what it is that he needs to do, while also instilling the confidence in him. And in chapter 3, verse 14, he says to Timothy, "Although I hope to see you soon, I am writing to you these instructions so that, if I am delayed, you will know how people ought to conduct themselves in God's household, which is the church of the living God, the pillar of the foundation of truth. Beyond all question, the mystery from which true godliness springs is great. He appeared in the flesh, was vindicated by the Spirit, was seen by angels, was preached among the nations, was believed on in the world, and was taken up in glory. Now, Paul is hoping to come to him, but accounts for the fact that things may not go according to plan, and he might be delayed. Paul's been around long enough to know that this is a very real possibility, and it could happen. But he emphasizes to Timothy to reiterate to the church what is essential to know, even if things are delayed and they don't go according to plan. The very nature of Christ renews all of us in spirit and truth because of who he is. Now, this week, as we begin the season of Lent, and among the things that we do in Lent is we renew ourselves. That's part of what our baptismal renewal is about on the first Sunday of Lent. It's part of what Ash Wednesday is about when we come to that first day of Lent, where we are reminded of who we are and what we have done, but also that we are renewed through Christ. We're called to be better versions of ourselves, so that we, in John Wesley's words, can continue to move on towards that perfection in Christ. Lent is a reminder that we are called to renew, but also it's a reminder that we may not actually get to full perfection. At least we won't get there on our own. But through our mistakes and through our learnings and through our delays, we will learn and we'll grow on that journey of faith together. And then we can always be a better version of ourselves and be a better version of the church for the sake of the good news of Jesus Christ. Life isn't always going to go according to plan. We know that. But the very reason that we have the seasons, as we've been talking about in our last sermon series, and why we have the season of Lent is a reminder that life hasn't gone according to plan. But the remedy isn't more rules or harsh punishments. It's bettering ourselves through love and through the grace that is made real in what Jesus has done for us, is doing for us, and will do for us in giving his life, so that through his resurrection, we can all be the best part of ourselves through him. So as we begin this new season, let's set our hearts and our minds on this as we together become better versions of ourselves, knowing that things don't always go according to plan. And with the hope that as we progress for ourselves as Christians and as we as a society progress slowly out of this pandemic, that we will all be better versions of ourselves through Christ. So until then, stay safe this week. Be sure to work on getting vaccinated if you can do so and if you're eligible. And we will look forward to seeing you back here next week for our first installment of our Lenten Monday Minute. Take care. Have a blessed week. We'll look forward to seeing you Wednesday and then back here again. God bless.